Oh boy. If I know anything thanks to the internet, it's exactly where this is going. Yep. I'm getting fucked. In today's humble opinion, we're crawling, but we're taking our team for a fight in Crawl. Crawl is an anomaly among its action RPG brethren. It's no wonder that the developer and publisher had to be power hoof, because any weaker regular hoof just wouldn't have had the strength to pull it off. In order to drive home exactly how rare it is to find a game like Crawl, I'd like for you to imagine how frequently you've heard the phrase multiplayer roguelite, and then I'm going to need you to also add the word successful in front of it. Go ahead, I'll wait. Actually, I don't know how many of those there are, but the only one that I can think of is three pals experience the sweet release of death in a musty tomb while the fourth lives on cursed with their haunting memories while eternally trapped in the lair of the mind flayers. But that's only because it's made up. You can tell by the title. The game is simultaneously every man for himself, but also team-based in the oddest display of mind-bendingly cyclical, asymmetrical design I've ever seen in my life. One person controls the protagonist as long as they manage to stay alive. The moment they die, the entity that managed to slay them gets to take over. In other words, gaining control of the hero is pretty similar to being king of the hill, just with a lot less propane and propane accessories. The hero is pretty straightforward. You have a sword that you can swing at things in an attempt to kill and or break them, and right-clicking performs a dodge roll or different action depending on what accessories you bought. Sometimes they might not even be strictly defensive accessories. They can be offensive too. One might say, propane accessories. I guess it's more like king of the kill. The hero's goal is to venture down into the dungeon and challenge the boss monster, but he can't do that until he makes it to level 10, because like minimum wage entry-level jobs and the sleazy girl you're trying to pick up at the bar, it requires a guy with experience, which you can get by killing the other players when they summon monsters. As a spirit, it's your goal to get revenge on your once ally by slaughtering them and taking their place. What, like you're just going to let them be the one to leave the dungeon after they let their sword do the talking and use that tone of voice? Yeah, right! That was rude as fuck! Luckily, you've got a load of methods for your aforementioned slaughtering at your ghostly appendages, ranging from throwing supernatural temper tantrums, to smacking them with furniture, to taking control of deadly traps, to summoning creatures and going toe-to-tendril with them in combat. For the best results, I'd recommend having a couple of other spirits around to help take them down, but that also means more competition and vying for control of a corporeal form, because even when you're surrounded by friends, you still ain't got no body. There are two types of currency in the game. The first one is gold, which one can spend while they're breathing in the blacksmith shop on things that enhance their heroes. Sometimes it's weapons, sometimes it's ability-altering accessories, and sometimes it's potions. The next is wrath, which you can earn while in spirit form. I'm not really sure how you get wrath, but I think everyone gets a little bit when the hero levels up. Maybe it's by causing damage. It's still a little foggy, but whenever a hero descends into the next portion of the stage, heroes can use it to transform their abominations into something even more abominable for the heroes facing them to take down. Sometimes it's awesome, other times not so much. Normally you can find Crawl lurking about the Steam store for, holy shit, only $9.99? That's an honestly astounding price for a game of such quality. I'm surprised that it isn't closer to $20, but perhaps that's just because it's one of those games where the greatness is only revealed after actually playing it, and a higher price might scare off would-be customers. It has been on sale for as low as $7.99, at which point I'd say definitely go ahead and try to get it if you can. It's easiest to rob people when they just offer it up like that, the poor fools. Gameplay for Crawl earns a perfect 10 out of 10 for the sheer impressiveness of it. The constant tug of war between all of the players being balanced so precariously around such diversity is truly an amazing feat. Even the boss monsters are controlled by the spirits, but both sides still manage to feel equally as powerful. There are a few minor complaints that I have, with one being, at least to my perceptions, a lack of responsiveness when interacting with things. I clicked it, just let me. Just let me! The other is a lack of prominence for the monster challenges, which is honestly what improved my experience from a frustrating one to one of reverence. The monsters can be confusing at first, so knowing that you can try them out in a challenge mode can help you feel a lot less like a fish out of water. Unless... oh no. Speaking of the vault though, did I mention that there's more stuff to unlock as you play in the game in a failed attempt at clever humor? I didn't? Short reviews are hard. I need to lay off King of the Hill jokes. Value earned slightly lower at an 8 out of 10, but this isn't so much for something that the game is lacking, but because of its emphasis on local multiplayer. Even though you can play the game with an AI of varying skill levels and it feels just as challenging as playing with a friend might, it still lacks that oomph. Even while you're having fun, you can't help but imagine how great it would be to piss your friends right the fuck off with some bullshit you figured out how to do. A perfect fit for those with friends that spend FaceTime together on a regular basis, but it will curse those of us who favor online acquaintances with a perpetual sense of longing. Still, with a composite score of 9 out of 10, Crawl earns itself a well-deserved A. It's a remarkable innovation on many of its genres, and I don't believe I've mentioned its early access, which means that the odds of it improving are all the more potent. I hope other early access titles take note.